I was born in Waterloo in 1930, December the 26th, at Waterloo, Indiana. And at that time, my father had a feed and flour milling business there, and I was born within a couple blocks from where his mill was located at Waterloo. Because of my father's business in the mill and feed business, my older sister, Martha, helped him when we were not in school. I was required to help my mother do housework, and then after the housework, I would go down to the mill. But it was with the war on, my brother was gone to the service. My father was in his 70s when my brother was taken into the service, and he could have gotten a deferral from the service, but my brother insisted that he was doing his duty, so he joined the service. Martha would take care of the farmers. She was very outgoing. She helped grind feed. We worked like a man. We sacked flour, 24 or 25 sack flour, sack them and make the miller's knot and pile them, So we tried to contribute in helping our father. He had one man that was 65 years old that was a retired farmer working for him, and he would have some high school kids working in addition. But we tried to keep the mill going. After my brother got killed, my father sold the business, moved to the farm north of Waterloo. It was 420 apple trees. We had to pick apples, sell apples, and work. My older sister Martha was married at that time. I helped grind or help plow, cultivate corn. We had an old farmal tractor that we'd go and one down the road. You had to stop the tractor, get off, push the plow up, turn around, go back. But before you started the tractor again, you had to put the plow down to go the opposite direction. But that's what we did, and that was part of learning that. And it was good. It was good training because you learned how to work. You know what good hard work is, and you appreciate. I think Martha and I had our first soda when we were out on the farm, and we did some work and we got paid. We got 50 cents, I think, and we went and got it. So I bought a soda. I never had a soda before. It had a soda, but I didn't like it. But I wish I'd spent my 50 cents someplace else. It wasn't 50 cents, but it was the family business, and it was gratifying. And then at the time in growing up, I attended the Waterloo Elementary School, and I graduated from Waterloo High School, attending all 12 years at the Waterloo school system. In my graduating class, I had 33 students in our total graduating class. Thereafter, I went to Indiana University, took my pre-law 1 year on campus at IU at Bloomington, and the remaining pre-law courses that was necessary to enroll in John Marshall Law School I took at Indiana University Extension in Fort Wayne. In 1951, I applied to John Marshall Law School and was admitted to their school, and in June of 1953, I graduated with a Bachelor of Laws degree from John Marshall Law School. Thereafter, and in my graduating class at John Marshall, we had 20 students, and I was the only girl. It was an average about every other year there was a female that would be in law school. After graduation from John Marshall Law School, I came back to Waterloo, Indiana, and stayed with my parents and studied for my Indiana bar. During that time, I worked in an abstract company, becoming familiar with the filing of cases in DeKalb County. In John Marshall Law School, as far as the title work was concerned, it was all Chicago Title and Trust. Well, I knew that we did not have a trust title in DeKalb County, and I needed to know how to look up a case, how to examine an abstract. So working in the abstract office helped me to become familiar on the filing of cases, how to look up liens, and be able better to determine whether a purchaser had good title to the property. After graduation and being admitted to the Indiana Bar on December the 2nd, 1953, I waited until February 1st, 1954, which was my mother's birthday, February 1st, to open my first law office. And it was on the south side, across the street from the courthouse, on the south side, at the corner of Main Street and 9th Street, above the Statements Drugstore. I was on the second floor and with other occupants, with Dr. Ralph Fox was the dentist, and next to his office was John the tailor. When I first opened my office on February 1st of 1954, I did not take the attitude that because I was the first female attorney that I was entitled to anything but respect, being prepared for my cases, and being versed on the law, and to present it to the court to the best of my ability. I didn't try to dress like a man, I didn't try to act like a man, I did not curse like a man, because that's not my personality. I have faith, and I feel that you have to be your person and bring it forth on your actions and conduct when you're in court. I try to be self-disciplined. I may be disappointed in a case or a judge's decision or ruling, but I did not show my disappointment in any way in court. I didn't feel that that was a proper attitude or the proper discipline for any practicing attorney, whether you're male or female. And I realized I was the only female attorney in DeKalb County for a number of years. But I think I had the respect of all my male attorneys in our county, as well as the adjoining county, Allen County, Steuben, Noble, LaGrange County. I had the respect of all the judges also, because I tried to show them respect for them and not to exploit that I was entitled to something because I was the only attorney, female attorney in the county. And I stayed there in the law office, and subsequently 35 years, about in 1980, or 35 years later, I purchased my law office at 211 North Cedar Street. In 1959, I ran for circuit court judge. Attorneys at that time were not allowed to advertise, so the only way you could get before the public was either to join civic organization, donate your time, or go into politics. And so I decided to run for circuit court. Judge Wallerstump was retiring, and so I've placed my name on the Republican primary, and so that set me up to run for circuit court judge against, it was going to be Pat Purdy, but due to Pat Purdy had some health problems, so he dropped out, and Harold Stump then was nominated to replace the Democratic candidate against me. I ran against Judge Stump, and he defeated me, but it was good experience. And when I went home and told my mother that I got defeated, she was in the kitchen. She had about a 25-gallon crock stomping cabbage from her garden, making sauerkraut. She handed me a pair of clean socks and said, "Put them on and you can start stomping for the sauerkraut." So that was my reception, but it was a good experience. In 1960, the town board of Waterloo asked me to be their town attorney. Also, the city council of Auburn asked me, or of DeKalb County, asked me to be their county attorney. So I was serving as town attorney for Waterloo at the same simultaneously as serving as county attorney for DeKalb County. It was required that the municipalities had to prepare a budget every year and submit it to the State Board of Accounts, at which time the State Board of Accounts, after looking and examining the proposed budget for that municipality, would send their accountants to review it and try to downsize and try to remove any budget expenses that they felt was unnecessary, or if their budget was padded. That's where I met my late husband, Richard Poff. He was set up by as an accountant for the Board of Accounts, and they were reviewing the budgets for Waterloo and DeKalb County, at which time we became acquainted and subsequently got married on August the 11th, 1962. 67, I ran for and was elected on 4-year terms as judge of the Auburn City Court. I ran 3 subsequent elections for a total of 12 years. I don't think I would have ever been interested in the practice of law if it were not for my brother Daniel, who was 7 years older than me, got killed accidentally on January the 29th, 1946. That kind of shook up our whole family because Danny was in love with the milling business. My father was a miller, and everything, all the family was engaged. My older sister, Martha, during the war would help my father and run the business while he went home for lunch. So we were all as a family, and I think I've always thought if my brother Danny returned from the service, I would have probably been in the milling business with him, because that's what he loved. After he got killed, my father sold the business, and we moved on a farm north of Waterloo with 420 apple trees. So we got into the farming business. But while I was in high school, I had very good teachers. I had a government teacher, history teachers. The government teacher was Charles Overmeyer, and my history teacher was Harold Long, and they were enthusiastic about us being interested in patriotism and our government. I ended up on a debate team that we ended up on WOWO. 5 of the members, including me, the members of our class, talking about whether the government should require all youth to be in the military service. That was an experience, but I think it was in the encouragement of my government teacher, Harold Long, that would ask me questions, and we would have debates, and if I didn't agree with him, I would come home. My father knew Judge Endicott, that was a former circuit court judge here, and he would take me to Auburn, and I would ask Judge Endicott and get my answers, whether I was right or Mr. Long was right. And Mr. Long was very good and very receptive to any information I brought back to him. So that made me become more interested in law. But I have to state, it was my government teacher and my history teacher that was very enthusiastic and made me to be proud I am American, and tried to carry out the Constitution of the United States, and in representing clients, giving them their just right in court and their day in court. And I tried to carry that out through my practice. In addition to my career, and after marrying Mr. Poff, I had mentioned previously that he worked for the Indiana State Tax Board. He was very conscientious, very, very honest, and he was getting frustrated because he saw some of the things on the state level that bothered him, and we were doctoring for him. One Sunday afternoon, we were in Indianapolis, and we were close to the Indianapolis racetrack, and my husband smoked cigars. I think he either needed a cigar or some matches, but we stopped at a shopping center, a small shopping center, and it took him very long. He went in to get some matches or a cigar, and he finally came out and he says, "Phyllis, I want you to come into the store. I want you to read something." And I did. And there was a notice on the bulletin board at a Hickory Farm store saying that they were looking for franchisees at the main Hickory Farm store at Toledo, Ohio. This was on a Sunday afternoon. On Monday, the following day, my husband called the number that was given in the notice. On Tuesday, we went there, and by the time we left their office, we had bought a franchise for Fort Wayne. The franchisor, the company, had just been to Glenbrook Center the Friday before the Sunday or Monday that Dick called them, and had signed a lease with the Glenbrook Center for a lease space. So we then started in 1964. We started our first Hickory Farm store, and subsequently we had 4 other stores which we accumulated in South Bend, Mishawaka, Ellicott, and Lafayette. And with that, it helped also. I had a special challenged half-brother, and he would be making boxes for us, and he worked in the warehouse for us, and the personnel at the warehouse was very nice to him. In fact, they spoiled him. But that was good for Arthur, because we had him making boxes from October for our Christmas season in the garage, and then when we were ready to open up and package the boxes, why, they were already made. So that was challenging. That was good also because it made my son, it helped him to learn how to meet customers. And I have 2 children, Michelle and Randy. And Randy would help drive truck and work in the warehouse. So in addition to that, I tried to contribute and many times not charge for services rendered to civic organization, charitable organizations, trying to carry on goodwill, kindness, and charity. And I do have a faith, and I think with my faith, I try to treat not only my clients, my family, but my contacts with other people through faith, love, generosity, and trying to help other people. As of February 1st, 2019, I officially felt that I have retired, semi-retired, not 100% retired, because there are certain things that has to be done in closing a law office. But I do have a small office in the basement of my home. However, in retirement at this time, I don't have to go to the office. I don't have to have appointments with people at a certain time. However, I still have paperwork, files, guardianships, trusts that I still have to finish up. There are still a few trust cases that I still have work on. You have to file annual reports, and I'm still keeping it up. If somebody comes and asks me to do something, if I feel I want to do it, I will do it. I kept my license up, and I intend to continue my license and my education that we're required to do, and keep up our license at least for the year 2019. I want to keep up. However, I am trying to have some more recreational time and do what I want to do. Our family plays cards together, and I think I look forward to that, you know. And I walk every day. I think I work a mile. I'm not sure, but I try to make 8 rounds from my back door to Midway to Jefferson, back to my back door. My son tells me that's 2/10 of a mile. I don't have a feebite or something that properly measures it. I do that every day, and I think it makes me better, more agile, and I think it helps because when you walk, it helps your mind. But that has to be worked in with my other family and situations that comes up. At the present time, am just enjoying to be able to sleep in and not have to be rushed. I am very strong in my faith. I try to practice my faith daily. I try to practice it 24/7 in meeting people, family. Maybe not always successful, but I do. I want to be recognized as being honest, having integrity, being conscientious, and loving, and have kindness and goodness for others.